Imagine this. You're running late for work on a Tuesday morning. The year is 2025, and though we have advanced technology, some things never change. You finally manage to get the kids ready for school, find your keys, pour a much-needed cup of coffee into your favorite travel mug. As you dash for the door, your elbow catches the edge of the counter. The mug topples over. Hot, dark coffee splashes everywhere. On your clean shirt, the floor, and the important papers you needed for your first meeting. In that split second, a wave of hot frustration washes over you. You feel your face flush and your fists clench. This is a moment we have all experienced. The initial reaction is almost always the same for everyone. A surge of anger, a deep sigh of defeat, maybe even the urge to yell a word you wouldn't want the kids to hear. You might think, this is the worst possible start to my day. Everything is ruined. Your mind might start racing, creating a chain reaction of negativity. But what if there was another way to handle this? What if, in that brief pause between the spill and your reaction, you could make a different choice? Instead of letting the anger take over, you could take a deep breath. You could look at the brown puddle spreading on the floor and see it not as a catastrophe, but simply as a mess that needs to be cleaned up. This choice is the very heart of what we are talking about today. One path leads to a day filled with stress, irritability, and poor interactions with colleagues and family. The other path leads to a quick cleanup, a change of shirt, and arriving at work, perhaps a few minutes late, but with your composure intact. The event itself, the spilled coffee, is neutral. It is your response to the event that defines your experience and sets the tone for everything that follows. This power to choose your response is not a magical gift, it's a skill you can learn. So, what is this skill we call emotional intelligence? You might have heard it called EQ, a counterpart to the more familiar IQ. While IQ measures your cognitive ability, your ability to learn, reason, solve problems, EQ measures your ability to understand and manage emotions. It's not about being nice all the time or burying your feelings deep down where no one can see them. In fact, it is quite the opposite. Emotional intelligence is about being smart with your feelings. It's the capacity to be aware of, control, express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Think of it as having two distinct but connected minds, the thinking mind and the feeling mind. The thinking mind is the part of you that is logical and rational. It analyzes situations and makes calculated decisions. The feeling mind, on the other hand, is driven by impulses, emotions, intuition. In our coffee spill story, the feeling mind was the one that wanted to scream in frustration. The thinking mind is the one that would say, okay, let's assess the damage and figure out the quickest way to solve this. Emotional intelligence is the bridge that connects these two minds, allowing them to work together in harmony rather than in conflict. This intelligence has a few key components. First, it involves recognizing your own emotions. This is self-awareness, knowing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. Are you angry, or are you actually disappointed or scared? Second, it involves managing those emotions. This is self-regulation. Once you know what you're feeling, you can control your reactions. Beyond understanding yourself, emotional intelligence is also about understanding others. This is called empathy. Finally, it's about using this awareness to manage your relationships effectively, making your interactions smoother and more successful. Now you might be thinking, this sounds nice, but why is it so important? Emotional intelligence isn't just a soft skill. It's a fundamental factor for success and happiness in almost every aspect of life. Research shows high EQ can matter more than high IQ for achieving your goals. You can be the most brilliant person in the room with all the right facts and figures, but if you can't communicate your ideas, work with a team, or handle pressure, your brilliance may never fully shine through. A manager with high EQ can sense team morale and provide support when it's needed, leading to higher productivity and lower turnover. An employee with high EQ can navigate office politics, build strong networks, and handle constructive criticism without becoming defensive. Emotional intelligence is also critical for personal relationships. It helps you be a better partner, parent, and friend. Understanding your partner's feelings, often unspoken, lets you respond with empathy and deepen connection. As a parent, understanding your child's emotions lets you guide them through frustration, sadness, or excitement. That builds trust and security. Friendships thrive when we can share vulnerabilities, celebrate each other's joys, and offer a shoulder during tough times. Finally, emotional intelligence is crucial for your own well-being. It impacts your mental health and your physical health. People with higher EQ manage stress better, reducing health risks. They tend to be more optimistic and more resilient, bouncing back from setbacks. They make better decisions, not swayed by impulses. They weigh emotional reactions against long-term goals. Mastering your emotions lets you drive your life rather than be driven by it. Developing emotional intelligence might sound like a huge undertaking, but it starts with small, simple steps. The first and most important skill to build is self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions. You can't manage what you don't notice. A great way to start is practicing a simple emotional check-in throughout your day. Just take a moment to pause, take a deep breath, ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Try to name the emotion specifically. Instead of just bad, are you feeling disappointed, anxious, resentful, tired? Another powerful tool is to keep a simple journal. You don't need to write pages and pages. At the end of the day, jot down 1 or 2 strong emotions you felt and what triggered them. Connecting a feeling to an event helps you see patterns in your emotional responses. Over time, you'll understand your personal triggers. Pay attention to your body's signals. Emotions are not just in your head, they manifest physically. Notice how your body feels when you are angry. Do you get a knot in your stomach? Do your shoulders tense up? Recognizing these physical cues is an early warning system. If your shoulders creep up toward your ears during a conversation, it could mean you're stressed or defensive. Once you start becoming more aware of your own emotions, you can begin to extend that awareness to others. The key is to listen, truly listen. Often in conversations, we are just waiting for our turn to speak. Pay attention not just to the words the other person is saying, but also to their tone of voice, their facial expressions, and their body language. A simple technique to improve your relationships is to practice putting yourself in someone else's shoes. You could say something like, "You seem really stressed today. Is everything okay?" This simple question can transform a potentially negative interaction into a moment of connection. Building emotional intelligence is a lifelong journey, not a destination you reach in 5 minutes. Start today. If you found this helpful, please like, share, subscribe for more insights on mastering your inner world.